Welcome to Parenting with Purpose. I'm Christian, and Happy New Year. I hope and pray that you have been enjoying your New Year break and that you are spending time with God, your loved ones, and for God to show you what He wants from you for this year. It's so timely because I'm actually in a season where God has really pulled me in like a real tight grip, and I appreciate it, but it is intense, no lie. And so I trust God that that He knows what He's doing. And so today we are talking about it is time to grow up. It is time to grow up. So I was journaling the other day and talking with God about the things that, He is currently walking me through. And He asked me, so now since you know, how long are you going to allow this to hinder your progress? And I felt some type of way, just being honest, because it was in that moment that I realized this had been a trap of the enemy the entire time, and I didn't even notice it while it was happening. So if you're familiar with the story of Jacob in the book of Genesis, Jacob was described as a deceiver. And, I also look at Jacob as a runner. And Jacob spent the majority of his years on the run from his past. And in psychology, they call it running from yourself. So Jacob spent years running from home due to his brother's plan to kill him because he thought Jacob had intentionally stolen his birthright. Well, Jacob runs away from his uncle Laban's house and ends up working for a total of 14 years for his wife, Rachel. Now, it was Rachel and her sister Leah. The first 7 years, he thought he was working for Rachel, and then he was deceived by Laban, and he ended up getting Leah. He had to work another 7 years, and that's when he was able to get Rachel. All right, so fast forward, Jacob is on his way back home as instructed by the Lord. So after these 14 years, he's instructed by the Lord to go back home. He's already sent his wives and children ahead of him as he prepares to meet with his brother for the first time after 14 years. I can only imagine what was going through Jacob's mind at that time. He had to be replaying the last encounter he had with his brother Esau. He was scared, playing all the what if scenarios. And the story unfolds where Jacob now wrestles with God. Jacob was caught alone when the man showed up and wrestled with him. When the man showed up, when the man saw that he could not defeat Jacob, he struck Jacob's hip socket and dislocated his hip. Now, Jacob wasn't able to continue running, okay? He had been running all his life. Now, the man, the angel of the Lord, different versions of the Bible describe it differently, but the angel of the Lord, he catches Jacob when he's at his weakest point. Jacob is not able to run anymore. He's caught alone, right? So he's in a vulnerable place. He's in a vulnerable situation. And where's he going to run to? Okay. And so God has a way of slowing us down and getting our attention. And it doesn't feel good in the moment, but God does everything on purpose and with a purpose. So I want to point out a few takeaways. If you want to, you can go and look at the story of Jacob in the book of Genesis, chapters 26, I believe. I was just reading all through it, but chapter 26, I believe. But a few points that I want to give you. And so Jacob was on the run for years. That's number one. Jacob was on the run for years. What have you been running from? Are you running from hurt? Are you running from shame? Are you avoiding conflict or confrontation of some sort? And honestly, this confrontation, this conflict, this shame that you've been carrying, this can be within you. So oftentimes, we look to others for our hurt, but we have to forgive ourselves too for past disappointments and mishandling things and simply not knowing and understanding when we are weak. I am strong. God says that when we are weak, he is strong. When we're weak, God steps in. Okay, so God steps in at our weakest point. And after 14 years of working and being deceived himself, Jacob is now instructed by the Lord to return home to his family. And on his way, he prepares to reunite with his brother, but he is also he also takes it a step further. He reconciles with his brother Esau. So the second key takeaway is, what have you been wrestling with God about in your life that is now time to go a different route? What have you been wrestling with God about in your life that is now time to take a different route? You're doing the same thing over and over and over and getting the same results. You're thinking the same way, behaving the same way, planning the same way. It's time for us to grow up and move forward. It's on you now. It's on you now to make that change that you want to see. Isaiah 43:19, I think so many people love it, and it's one of my favorites too. But Isaiah 43:19, it says, "Look, I am about to do something new. Even now it is coming. Do you not see it? Indeed, I will make a way in the wilderness, rivers in the desert." It's time to leave old ways behind. Period. It is time to leave old ways behind. It's too much life ahead of you, and God has so much in store for you. He's just waiting on you. He's just waiting on you. Jacob initially left with just himself, but he returned with a family of his own. Jacob had to think differently now, because it's no longer just him alone. He had a family to think of. He has wives now, children to provide for, create a life for. It's no longer Jacob. So enough with fighting God on what he has already told you to do. I know what it's like to wrestle with God. And let me tell you something right now. Honestly, you're not going to win. You are not going to win. I'm just letting you know. You are not going to win. I personally know what it's like to wrestle with God. And you think you're winning, you think you're doing something, but when he gets you into a place and you're vulnerable and there's no way out for you to run, it's like, okay, I can't run from this anymore. God has a way of slowing us down and getting what he wants from you. And from a father's perspective, I've been saying this a lot lately because it really has shifted my perspective when I'm reading the Bible and when I'm journaling, when I'm talking with God, when I'm praying, because it really is from a father's perspective. You wrestle with God, and it doesn't feel good when you're finally, like, your back is up against the wall. But could it be that God is just like, I am so ready to bless you because I love you so much. I love you that much. I'm ready to bless you. Because what parent doesn't want to bless their kid? Right? He wants to bless us. And so anytime it's like a toddler, like, I want to change the diaper, right? I want to change the diaper, but not a toddler, because a toddler shouldn't be in a diaper. I'll say an infant. I'll say an infant. But the baby, right? The baby, you're trying to change your baby's diaper and the baby is fighting you. And it's like, look, I'm trying to take this mess off of you so I can give you a clean diaper. Your bottom will be clean. You don't have anything rubbing up against you now. I'll give you a clean start. And that's exactly what God is wanting to do. So when are you going to stop wrestling with God and just do what he's telling you to do? You're not going to win that wrestle, that fight with God. All right. So what steps do you need to take differently moving forward so you can actually move forward and not in circles? sit with God and ask Him to reveal to you what areas you may be stuck in. Maybe it's finally saying yes to counseling or therapy so you can heal and show up for your child whole. Maybe it's moving towards forgiving yourself or someone else. Maybe it's how you steward your time differently. What parts of you is God wanting to heal and shape so you can rise and do the very thing that He has called you to? Let Him walk you through your healing. Period. Let Him walk you through your healing. I know Him to be a healer, physically and emotionally. I know God to heal. He is the wonderful counselor. And so it doesn't take away from seeking counseling and, therapy, whether you go to your church or, professional counseling, but God says He rewards those who diligently seek Him. And when you're trying to heal, which is what God wants, He said, it is my will that your mind, body, and soul prospers in good health, right? He wants the whole body, the whole person to be healed and whole. All right? So whatever it is that you are needing to do it so you can be the best version of yourself and be the example that your children need, because they are depending on you, and you deserve to show up for you too. All right? So that's all I have for you today in this video. I hope that this video has resonated with you. Feel free to leave a comment down below, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Enjoy your weekend.